Game Skinny, and we're here with Ian from Orcs Must Die Unchained. Hi, Ian.
What's going on, Rachel? How are you?
Good. How's the show been going so far?
I don't know how the entire show has been going for anybody else because I've pretty much been on this little patch of carpet the entire time, and for us it's been going great. We've had I don't know how many people have been through so far, but we've had a line around this for the last 2 days. So it's always happy when we get to come out here and see, after working on things for months and months and months, we finally get a bunch of fans come in and actually play the game and see the excitement and see people standing in line.
Absolutely, talking to people and being one-on-one.
We're having a good time.
Exactly. So tell us a little bit about Orcs Must Die Unchained.
So Orcs Must Die Unchained, if anybody's not aware, we did kind of the first version of Orcs Must Die, which was our tower defense single-player version, and then we did a sequel to that. We made it co-op, and now we've gone and done Orcs Must Die Unchained, the third incarnation of it, which is starting to be more of a multiplayer version. At least in the first, our leading game for it is a 5v5 competitive multiplayer version of our Orcs Must Die game. If you're familiar with the series, it's a little bit like an Orcs Must Die 2 game and an Orcs Must Die 2 game smashed together head-to-head. So while in the previous games you were building defenses and you were trying to keep the bad guy armies from breaking down your door and coming in, now we're allowing players to be the ones that are building up those armies and breaking down the door and leading the rush into an enemy fortress as well. So we've added the offensive to the defensive, and we've added multiplayer to our co-op game.
What about the community? What kind of plans do you have for the community side of it?
We've been engaged. I mean, we've always thought that community was an important portion of our game, and particularly if you're going to do even co-op or if you're going to do PvP, then why do people stick around and play games? It's not having a fun game is a prerequisite. You have to have that. But people play games because their friends are there playing the games. So obviously having anything that we can do to facilitate community is going to be a good thing for us. But also for our development style, we're a very iterative studio, and the way that we like to develop is to get a version of the game out there and to have people playing the game and to be getting feedback from those people and then to be able to address that feedback and go. So a lot of, honestly, what we've done with community for now for this is to support us being able to get that kind of feedback. We have a lot of work to do to make things easier for people to start clans and find their friends and play together. But that stuff will come, and we do think it's very important.
That's great. Now you're going into a closed beta March 24th, correct?
Yeah, we were in an alpha, and then we kind of moved on to a closed beta, so we're still actually officially in a closed beta, I guess. We wanted to do some big chunks of work. Once you get into beta, you're doing patches to stay up with that iteration that I was talking about.
Right.
So we're doing patches pretty constantly to try to stay ahead of the things that are happening in the game and to keep improving. When we decided we had some big things that we wanted to change about the game and revise, we needed to kind of take a break from that for a little while so we could get some big things done on the game. So we left the game up for the people that were still there, but we quit updating and we went and did a few months of work. We're going to do our first update since that time, and we'll come back up on the 24th. So we're excited that we actually have some of the people that are in that beta have come out here to get their first taste of the game. So we're really excited about them getting to get their hands on it and finally play it after the long wait. So thanks for waiting, guys.
What kind of things do you learn between games? Having several games in a series, what do you learn between each one?
Yeah, we're trying to build things that are based on the feel of that IP and the gameplay that we did before. So certainly, like, our defensive portion of the game is a lot like the previous games. So we get a lot of information about the traps, we get a lot of information about the minions, we get a lot of information about how the combat systems work for people there. The problem with it is it all changes when you go into multiplayer.
Right.
In the single player versions of the game, the orcs don't complain when you blow them up or when things are unfair. I can use all kinds of traps and weapons and devices that I can't in a multiplayer version of the game because it's just not fair between those two players. So there's a lot of new lessons to learn. While there's a lot of stuff you can take and a lot of things you can get about what was fun from the previous games, there's just a lot of new stuff that you have to pick up to do the multiplayer version of it.
That's great. Well, thank you very much. I hope you enjoy the rest of your con.
Thank you. Have a good show.